So I'm standing naked on a beach in Barcelona, Spain. It's 4 in the morning and I just got robbed. Man, this day did not turn out how I had planned. If you want to hear the whole story, be sure to listen to the video. Appreciate a like if you enjoy it, and subscribe to the channel. Hear all kinds of other crazy stories that I've got about my travels. All right, so the backstory. I've been in Spain at this point for probably 6-7 weeks. I spent 10 days hiking the Camino de Santiago, which was a lot of fun. Then I went to Madrid, hung out for a few weeks, met a lot of cool people, and I'm like, okay, well, let's go see some more of Spain. So I always hear about Barcelona. Everybody says, oh, this is one of the coolest cities in the world, and it's such a party place, and blah blah blah. So I'm like, all right, let's go check out Barcelona. So go to Barcelona. It was cool. It was a city. It had some cool things. Didn't end up being one of my favorite cities for a variety of reasons, but I had some fun. And I'm staying in Airbnb and going out, but it's like, okay, I'm getting a little tired of going out by myself. So I invite this girl that I've been hanging out with in Madrid. So she comes, hangs out, catches a train. We go out, a few days and see the sights, do this and that. It's a pretty good time, having a fun time. But this night, things got a little bit crazy. And the way it turned out was just like a normal evening. Go out to eat, and in Spain things get started late, so we probably went out to eat at 9 or 10, I don't even remember, and had a few wines, and the guy comes and plays guitar, and she knows a lot of the Spanish songs, of course, she's Spanish, and she so we're singing with this guy, and it's kind of fun. And then we're like, well, we're done eating, let's go find a cool bar. So we found this, I don't even know where it was, but it was a really, really cool bar, and it was 2 floors, and there was a guitar player, played acoustic guitar, obviously Spanish guy. And he would sing American hits, and he would also sing Spanish hits and other Latin hits. And sometimes it would be like, the songs that everybody knows, sing-alongs, right? La Bamba. And then he would, bust out some reggaeton and, gasolina and things like that, duro, duro. And it was a good time. And I don't know how many people was there. 150, 200 people lined up against the walls, up the stairs, crowded like this. Everybody's just dancing and singing. It was one of those nights when everything is just just fun. The guy was a great entertainer. So we had a few beers there. Who knows what time it's getting to be by then? Probably midnight or later, I guess. And this girl I'm hanging with, she gets the idea that she wants to do karaoke, and somebody tells her about this cool karaoke bar. And I'm like, okay, whatever, not my thing, but let's go, right? So we catch an Uber, we go to this karaoke bar, and it's okay. It wasn't super crowded, but I would say there's 70, 80 people in there. Mostly seem to be Europeans, and so we sit around, and it took a long time actually for us to get a chance to sing. I don't know why I did this, but I guess I've been out of the U.S. at this time for 9 months or something, right? And I don't know, maybe I was getting a little homesick, and I started, think I want to sing a country song. So I go up on stage and I sing "Blue Eyes Crying in the Rain" by Willie Nelson, and one of my all-time favorite songs. And I'm like, what am I thinking for a karaoke? It's a sad song to me. It's super romantic, but anyway, nobody in Spain knows this song. They're all looking at me like, yeah, right on, dude. And so I epic fail, and she's laughing at me, and I'm like, all right, screw it, So we decided to do a duet later, and we put our name on the you sign up with this, I think it was an iPad or something like that, and you could sign up, and then your name would pop up. So we did a duet, which went out. Went over much better, which was "Back in Black" by AC/DC. So everybody knows that. So we're up there wailing and screaming and and people are up and dancing and singing with us. And I was like, all right, awesome time. We redeemed ourselves, or I redeemed myself. It was a fun time. So then again, by now I don't know what time it is. I suppose it's getting to be 3-ish or something like that. And we decided to go out somewhere else. And she's got this idea that she wants to go skinny dipping, and maybe alcohol's involved, I'm not sure, but she wants to go in the ocean and go skinny dipping. All right, what the hell? So we go walking around, and she needs to get cigarettes. So we find this little tin to open. It's kind of weird on a back alley thing. It would seem like in this neighborhood it was the only thing that was still open. And I don't remember if we bought more booze. We may have. It seems like we got a bottle of wine or something. I don't even remember. But it seemed like maybe it was a little, not quite illegal. Maybe it was after selling time or something, but it was a little hush hush. Anyway, I think that's what happened, but I don't remember everything, alcohol involved, I guess. So she's in line and she starts talking to these two dudes, and the dudes look sketchy, and I'm like, whatever. And they're talking about cigarettes, and I guess she buys cigarettes, and they bum some cigarettes. And we walk outside, and there's 4 of them. I'm like, okay, what the hell? And we're just talking, shooting shit back and forth. And turns out, I think 2 of the guys are from Peru, 2 guys from Ecuador, and they came there to work in cooks or something like that. I forget. But obviously they were shady. I could just tell they were shady, right? And I was like, let's go. I was telling her, I was like, come on, let's get away from these fools, And she's like, no, they're fun. They're gonna party with us. I'm like, no, I can see something's gonna go wrong, right? I can see the way they're looking at us, the way they're talking. They're kind of semi-aggressive, but they're also flirting with her, and I can see they're trying to kind of like steal her away from me. And I was like, it's just not right. But she's kind of drunk off her ass at this time, and looking back in the few months that we spent together, now I know she didn't make the best decisions when she's been drinking. And anyway, so that's the way it went. So she tells these guys that she wants to go skinny dipping at the beach, and I'm like, come on, girl, let's go, let's lose these guys, And she's no. So I'm like, all right, what am I gonna do? So we go to the beach, and she's strips down, jumps in the ocean, and goes swimming, and the waves are big, and she's getting beat up and knocked around, and it's one of the dudes goes with her, and one of the guys that was hitting on her, he strips down naked too, and he jumps in the ocean. They're dancing, he's trying to kind of get close to her and stuff, and she's kind of pushing him away, and you can see he's trying to steal her away from me, and I'm like, okay, do what you got to do, dude. And then the other dudes are standing up there on the beach, and they're like, come on, telling me, go out, go swimming with her, man. She wants you to go swim with her. I'm like, hell no, dude. It's like, as soon as I go in the ocean, I know you're stealing all her shit, and you're gone. I mean, I just see it, right? So I'm like, no, I'm cool. Everything's cool, We're just shooting the shit, and I'm like, oh God, I wish these fools would leave. So I just stand there and wait, and she swims. She keeps swimming, and eventually the dude that was swimming with her gets out. I guess he sees that he's not going to score with her, so he gets out and gets on his clothes, and they all shoot the shit a little bit longer, and try to tell me to go back and go swim with her again. And I'm like, nah, I'm good. So those dudes all leave. I'm like, oh, cool, good, they're gone. And this beach was very wide. I would say it's probably 100 yards from like the road to where the actual ocean was breaking. So we were there, and I saw those guys go, and I just kept watching them. I was like, they're gonna run back and do something. I'm like, nah, they're gone. I'm like, all right, cool. So she's still in the ocean. She's still skinny dipping and stuff, and she's like, come on, please. And I'm like, all right. So I strip down naked, and I go jump in the ocean. Eventually I kind of look over back to the beach. I mean, and I see this guy, one of these guys, I think, and he's running towards us. I'm like, oh shit, something's going down. And I start walking sort of towards, towards our clothes and trying to get out of the ocean. And he was running really fast. And he went and he picked up a bunch of clothes, and then he held up his, like a sweater. He left his sweater, and he waves it to us. And he's like, oh, I got my sweater. And he's kind of acting all innocent. And he takes off, jet away. And I'm like, fuck, that ain't right. I was like, that ain't right. So I bolt out of the ocean, as quick as I can, get up there and climb up the sand. And I go and I pick up, and my phone's gone. Her phone's gone. I was like, fuck, I yelled at it, top of my nose, fuck, and I go, ladrón, which is Spanish for thief, and he's still running, they're gone. I'm like, fuck, and she's like, what, what, and I tell her, they just stole our phones, and she's like, oh my God, and she's, but again, drunk and, whatever, trying to come out, and she's coming out, but she's slow, I don't know, because she's drinking or whatever, and I'm like, come on, hurry the fuck up, and I'm trying to get my clothes on, and I'm, thinking I'm gonna go run after them and find these guys, right? And she's slow, and then she just stands there and panics, and oh my God, my phone, and they stole my phone, and my dad bought me this phone, and he's gonna be so mad at me. I'm like, fuck, let's whine about this shit later. Let's go try to catch these dudes, And and it's just so slow. I mean, by then I know the guys are gone. I'm like, there's no chance in hell. But anyway, we get our shit, and she's just crying and whining and blah. I'm like, come on, let's go see if we can find these dudes, And we get back to the road, and it's who knows what time it is, like, I don't know, 4 a.m. or some shit like that. And there's nobody out. There's not even a car driving by. There's nobody walking the streets. It's dead. And we're not like in central Barcelona where it's, where everything's going on. We're at some sort of suburb or somewhere, Not even really sure where I am. So then I start thinking, well, I don't know where I live. I sort of know where it is, but I don't know the address. I'm like, even if I catch a taxi, how am I going to tell them to get me there? Because it was all on my phone, right? And I'm like, well, we're kind of screwed. I mean, lucky thing was the thieves didn't steal my phone or my keys. I mean, sorry, they didn't steal my wallet or my keys. So I still had those. I'm like, well, at least I can pay for a taxi to get back. So eventually we find a taxi and wave the guy down, and it's in a van, minivan. And, sort of telling the story. We got robbed, and I was like, I don't know where I'm going. I'm sorry. And I was like, I got to sort of tell you how to get there. And meanwhile, she's, whining and crying and crabbing. And I'm like, just chill. Let's not piss off the taxi driver. So I know, like, I told the guy, doing my best broken drunk Spanish, hey, we got to go to the train station, because once we're at the train station, I know how to get there from there. So he drives to the train station. I know we got to go down this road, and when we get to this, certain roundabout, then I know, we got to turn right, and then somewhere down there is my place. Well, it took a lot of talking, because I don't know, he just, we were kind of far away anyway, but we finally get, sort of in the neighborhood, and for some reason I just didn't exactly, I don't know, I guess because I was drinking, I didn't know exactly which street it was, so we're just driving around, and finally I said, okay, I know where I am. And I don't know for what reason, maybe it was a one-way street or whatever, he couldn't go down, the 2 blocks to get to my apartment. I'm like, all right, let's just let me out here and we'll go. And I look over, my girl's like, she's just out, not moving. I'm shaking, I'm like, we gotta go, come on. And she, just won't move. So I go, it's one of those vans with the double sliding doors, so I go on the other side, open the sliding door, and like shaking her, like trying to get her to wake up. The taxi driver's getting pissed off and messing around with a bunch of drunks, and I'm shaking her. She won't wake up, so I move the armrest, and I start pulling her out, like I'm gonna carry her, and I start trying to carry her, and then she finally wakes up and startles and starts yelling and cussing at me and all this shit. I'm like, why is aggression towards me? He's like, you're the idiot who wanted to hang with these fools and got your phone stolen. But she's, I don't know, then she's getting belligerent and starting, blaming me, and it's like it's my fault. And I'm like, dude, girl, take responsibility for yourself. I mean, you're the fool who wanted to, hang out with these dudes, and I told you they were no good, and and she's got like no concern for me, having my shit stolen. It's all about her, right? I'm like, you learn a lot of people in crises, right? But anyway, get back to the apartment, eventually crash out, sleep half the next day, whatever, wake up, and of course it's, crying again and whining, and oh, my phone, my dad gave me the phone, and I'm like, oh God, whatever. What am I gonna do? Of course I need my phone too, right, for travel and everything like that. So I get on my laptop, and I find there's a used electronics store, luckily, within a few blocks that I can get to. So I go there, I buy her a phone, I buy me a phone, used phones, because I'm not buying new phones in this, this scammy town of Barcelona. So, she lucks out, she gets a better phone than she started with. I get an older phone, but I'm like, oh man, this place, people love Barcelona, as they say. I thought it was okay. The architecture was cool. But man, I think it's the scammiest place I've been in Spain. And I've been north, south, east, and west in dozens of Spanish cities. So, where the tourists are, the crime will come. And there's so many pickpockets and, like the fools that we got with. It just felt kind of scammy, like you could get ripped off all over the place, any place. And prices are high. I mean, it's cool. It's worth a visit, but I would say it's probably, down 9 or 10 on my list of favorite Spanish cities. But anyway, all's well that ends well. I lost a few $1,000s, of my phone, plus buying 2 new phones. So, I mean, it sucks. I'm laughing now, but it definitely wasn't funny. It was a shitty experience. So yeah, I'm not sure if I'll go back to Barcelona again. I probably won't, but if you dug this story, appreciate a like on the video, subscribe. You'll hear lots more stories of fun things and bad things and crazy things and interesting things that I've done and I've seen and experienced around the world. And leave a few comments. Let me know, did I do something stupid? Was I an idiot? Or what do you think about Barcelona? Is it good? Is it bad? What could I have done different? What could I have done better? Because I'm always looking to improve my experiences in the world. So yeah, really appreciate that, and hope you all enjoyed the video. Thanks a lot, and talk to you next time. Peace.